Hello students, let's read the problem. And it says, what is the solution set to the inequality below? Okay, so we're looking for the solution set, right? So basically we need to solve, right? Okay, so if you look at the answer choices, they all have x by itself, so that's gonna be our goal, right? We need to solve for x, okay? So before we do that, I've noticed that there's some parentheses, right? Especially on the right side, and it's multiplied 2 times the parentheses. So what about if we get rid of the parentheses first, okay? So I'm going to write it down again. So I have x plus 3 over 2 greater than or equals to, and then I'm going to use the distributive property to multiply, and that will give me 2x minus 4 over 3, right? Now, remember, no matter what are you trying to solve, it's always going to be needed for you guys to get rid of the denominators, right? Yes, because that's the only way that we can kind of like start leaving the variable by itself. Therefore, I need to get rid of the 2 and the 3. Now, some of you guys might know already what to do if I say, oh, let's do cross multiplication. But if you're not sure what I mean by that, then I'm going to take it one step back. Okay, so let's say I want to get rid of the denominator 2, right? On the first term, on the left. Therefore, I am going to need to multiply this by 2. Now, remember, whatever you do on one side, you have to do it to the other side. Exactly, right? But the reason why I wanted to multiply by 2 is because then my 2's are going to cancel. Do you remember that? Hopefully you do, right? My 2's are going to cancel each other, so I will end up with x plus 3 greater than or equals. Now, here I will need to multiply the 2 times everything on the numerator, right? So it's like using distributive property here. That's what I say, cross multiplication, right? Because think about on the previous one, that means that I will multiply this times the numerator, right? That's exactly what I'm doing right now. That's what I say cross multiplication, but I'm doing it like in another way so that you guys understand why did I say that. So 2 times 2x is 4x minus 8, and all of this over 3, right? But I still see a denominator 3. So now I need to get rid of that 3, right? So I am going to need to multiply both of them by 3. Okay, but on the right side, my 3 is going to cancel with my denominator 3. You guys see that? And on the left side, I need to multiply 3 times x and 3 times 3, which, if you go to the top, that's exactly what cross multiplication meant up here, right? You multiply 3 times x plus 3. So I know what you're saying. Miss, I could have saved me 1 or 2 steps. Yes, but I wanted for you to understand why did we say cross multiplication. So here it will give me a 3x plus 9 greater than or equals to 4x minus 8. Okay, so that answer, guys, and I'm going to put it on the side over here. You know how we had already multiplied by the first parenthesis, and this is what we had here, right? Yes. So what I said about cross multiplication, it was mainly to multiply 3 times this and 2 times the numerator, which is basically what we ended up doing, because 3 times x gives me 3x plus 9 and 2x. Now remember, this is distributive property, okay? That's 4x minus 8. That is exactly what I have right here. Okay, so think about those two processes because they're exactly the same. We're just trying to show you why do we think about cross multiplication, because in reality we ended up multiplying by the denominators, right? So I need to make sure that I move my variables to the left, right? So I am gonna subtract 4x's on both sides. Okay, when I do that, 3x minus 4x is a negative 1x plus 9 greater than or equals to negative 8 because these already cancel out. Got it? Okay, so this is like an equation, right? I want to get rid of the positive 9, so I need to subtract 9 on both sides, right? And of course, my 9 and my minus 9 cancels, and I have negative 1x greater than or equals to negative 8 minus 9. It's negative 17, right? So what do I need to do next? I need to divide by the negative 1 because I need to make sure that I don't have a negative number. Okay? Now, when I divide by a negative number, what do I need to do with the sign? With my inequality sign? I am going to need to switch my sign, right? Yes, we have to switch the sign. Okay? And this is going to happen only when you either multiply or divide by a negative number. Okay? So my negative 1 divided by a negative 1 is a positive 1, which basically I can just write down x, and I'm going to flip my sign, and negative times a negative gives me a positive, right? So I'll be positive 17. Look at the answers and tell me, where do you see this one? Yes, this is letter B. Very good. So what is one thing that I need to remember? That if I divide or multiply, I need to switch the inequality sign. That's like the most important one. Okay? Very good.